Hi, I'm Hayley Lloyd-Henry and I am the co-chair of the Race Equality Staff Network, which exists to support and improve the experiences of ethnically diverse colleagues in the workplace.
Hi there, I'm Kat Denver, she, her, and I'm the chair of Leeds City Council's LGBT Staff Network, and in my day job, my real job, I am a senior project manager within IDS.
Hello, my name is Lydia Anchin and I'm a commissioning manager working within Children's Services. I'm also chair of the Women's Voice Staff Network.
Hi everyone, my name's Maisie Roberts. I'm the network lead for the Disability and Wellbeing Network.
I think the fact that so many colleagues joined us in marking Race Equality Week recently in February, that we had over 400 colleagues attend the online sessions to discuss issues like microaggressions. We also had over 100 colleagues committing a personal pledge for continued action on the anti-racism agenda. I think that's testament to the fact that there's a greater appetite within the organisation to have those difficult conversations now, to self-reflect on how the organisation can take decisions more equitably, and also how we can break down those structural barriers which stand in the way of many ethnically diverse colleagues in the council. We've also seen some key appointments across the council being taken up by ethnically diverse people. We're hopeful that this will help to pave the way for increased diversity at all levels of the organisation. There's been some great work on the issue of recruitment and progression through the Task and Finish group, which involves staff network leads, HR and other experienced managers within the council. And in particular, the introduction of the mandatory diverse panel members is a significant step in the move towards race equality.
It's been really great to see how people have really engaged with this piece of work and how people have done the doing and gone and taken this work after the training. People went on in step 2. It's a massive undertaking and I really cannot undersell how big a piece of work that really is. We've never really done anything like this before in the nearly 12 years I've been in the council, so it's been fantastic to see.
We've undertaken a review of the steering group, which has resulted in reconvened and refreshed membership. We've also reviewed the role of our network ambassadors and have several women taking on this role in different directorates across the council. Importantly, the work of the network is championed by CLT and through our CLT champion Julie Longworth, Director of Children's and Families. The network is also supported and works closely with the lead member for women, Councillor Hesselwood. We are making good progress in working with male allies within the organisation, and at a recent event to mark International Women's Day, we had the Chief Exec of the Council, Tom Reardon, and the Director of City Development, Martin Farrington, speak about the roles that they have played to foster inclusivity and representation of women within the organisation.
I think for me, a big takeaway from the EDI training is that people are talking about equality, diversity and inclusion issues more within the council, and that's really exciting. It really feels like it's a live and ongoing conversation. I've noticed that people have started to go on their own EDI journeys, and that includes people who actually felt quite nervous engaging with these kinds of issues. But it also includes people who were quite passionate and informed going into the training, and they're starting to recognise that actually there's so much more to learn and so much more to do. And for me, that goes back to that point that actually EDI is an ongoing journey. It doesn't have an end point. I also think the EDI training showed the importance of including the lived experiences of people into everything that we do as a council. The mantra, nothing about us without us, is quite prominent within disabled communities, and I really like that we're starting to embed this approach into the work that we do as a council. The other point I've recognised is that people are starting to accept and celebrate difference more. I think before there was this kind of perception that fairness was about treating everyone the same. Now people are starting to see that fairness is all about treating people according to their needs. And it goes back to that point that one size doesn't fit all. We're all different, so we're all going to have different needs. And this has been a fact that's been central to disabled people's inclusion for a long time.
In terms of what still needs work, Sadly, we continue to hear reports of pockets of resistance to the agenda and instances of poor behaviours which are not being resolved as quickly as we'd like. These issues often arise from conflict between staff members not being addressed at an early stage. A comprehensive review into that grievance procedure and practice was completed in 2022, and we're hopeful that the organisation will focus on delivering the outcomes in relation to that, with a particular focus on promoting early conflict resolution and equipping teams and managers with the tools to nip those issues in the bud. Whilst we've seen that there has been some progress around recruitment and progression, we know that the council's workplace is around 17% ethnically diverse, which is 10% less than the 2021 census data, and that disparity grows wider at senior levels of the organisation. We believe that there's a wealth of talent and ambitious ethnically diverse staff within the organisation, and working closely with HR, we want to ensure that the organisation's approach to recruitment and progression is really able to harness this and bring these colleagues up through the ranks. We want to see transparency and fairness around succession planning and informal progression opportunities to reduce any bias and to ensure that ethnically diverse colleagues are able to realise their potential.
People have said it's been really positive to see how areas of the council have really engaged with us. But, and we said this in our scrutiny report in January of this year, there's not a level of consistency to that yet, and that's one thing that we really want to see going forward. At the minute, a lot of the equality, diversity, inclusion and equity work sits on the back of a few people really in the council, quite a small group in reality. The importance now is for everyone who's undertaken steps 1 to 5 in this journey is to take all the reflections I've done, take the learning, the sort of personal journeys you've been on, and now it's time to turn this into action. Everyone's been asked to do action plans. Some of those I've seen working with great success, and some of them I think haven't gotten as far as maybe people wanted to or haven't been able to give the energy to. This has been such a difficult time for the council. We've got more to do with less, as we hear regularly, and it is true. It's hard. It's hard trying to balance this amongst everything else that needs to be done, and the asks never stop. But this work is the cornerstone of why we exist as a council. By having an inclusive culture, inclusive thought, diversity of thought, equitable practices, it means that we serve the citizens and the customers of Leeds in the best way that we can. And it means that we have the best workplaces we can because people feel respected and valued and appreciated.
So women have told us that the organisation need clearer strategies and policies around women's life course, health and wellbeing. This includes issues relating to menopause, menstrual health and fertility, and the impact that they have in the workplace. Manager support, understanding and empathy are key to improving experiences. Women who are working part-time, have caring responsibilities or are from ethnically diverse backgrounds have spoken about the barriers that they faced when looking for opportunities for career development and progression. And sadly for many women, sexism and misogyny is something that they still have to face within the organisation. As a network, we would like the organisation to support a partnership approach, looking at a campaign to make misogyny a hate crime. We'll be working closely with our lead member for women on this and the equalities team.
A really big theme that I'm hearing from Dawn Network members is the issues they're facing getting the right workplace adjustments. So for example, through the network, we've heard that requests for adjustments have been denied, or they've been withdrawn without good reason, or that they've not been properly implemented. So here, I think we need to really improve our understanding of workplace adjustments within the organisation and really start understanding why they're so crucial for disabled colleagues. Career progression is also a key area for us as a network. We know that disabled people are one of the most disadvantaged groups in terms of the labour market. And we also know that Dawn Network members are facing barriers progressing within the council. I think we need to do more to make the recruitment process more equitable. There's often a perception that disabled people are not able to or do not want to progress. And I think we need to start stepping away from some of these biases and stereotypes that really get in the way to people progressing within the council.
So a closing message from me would be for us all to take a pause and a deep breath and recognise where we are, both as individuals and as a collective on this journey, and most importantly, how far we've come. Whilst there's still a long way to go, I think it's really important that we have time to reflect on the things that we've done well as an organisation and as individuals, and perhaps not so well, and take those learnings with us moving forward. Understanding the role that we all play as colleagues, interacting with other colleagues and delivering services for the community, as managers supporting our staff and encouraging their development and progression, and as senior leaders taking those strategic decisions in terms of the direction of the organisation. We want to make sure that equality, diversity and inclusion is at the heart of what we all do.
Lean on each other, ask for help. You're not alone in this. Together we can do amazing things. Be brave. It's scary whenever you're doing something for the first time, but the way that you directly can impact change can't be underestimated. So thank you for everything you're doing.
We know from the stories shared by women that culture and behaviour make the biggest impact on experiences, and it's only through this continued effort on changing culture in the organisation can real change and difference be made. Thank you.
My key advice for supporting disabled colleagues is to listen to them and to be empathetic to their needs. I think it's important we step away from any preconceptions we might have on someone's disability. Sometimes a disability might not be obvious, and you might not even be aware that someone is disabled within your team. Disabled people will often feel like they have to mask or hide their disability due to the stigma they face day to day. Disabled people are the experts on their own disability. And actually this is quite reassuring and maybe reduces some of that anxiety for you as managers, because it means that you don't need to be a disability expert to support a disabled colleague within your team. Instead, you can take some really simple steps to make sure they feel much more included. So you can ask them what their needs are, you can ask them how you can support them more, and you can ask them what kind of language they prefer you to use to describe their disability.